And obviously that's also giving back to the community and leaving this dream through the children that you're actually working with. Little brief on that for benefit.
Yeah, to me, it's for me, it has never been about me. As a farm child growing up and hearing the stories of your elders who has been laboring the vineyards, and sometimes the mere despondentness of them in the industry because they felt they weren't recognized, whether it would have been at that stage by the farm worker or by the government. It creates of you a person that really wants to see people move up and beyond. And so for me, it has always been about living out the dream of the people who have raised me on the farm, and knowing that the knowledge that I have and the knowledge that you have, and I can tell you that to your face, has never been your own knowledge. So none of us sit around this table and sit in this conversation and think that we are as clever as we are because of our own doing. You're only as clever as you are because you've studied, worked, and researched on other people. You've met people along your journey. You were raised by your parents and by your family. So what you know as you sit here has been the passed on knowledge. And that compels one to understand that you have a responsibility to ensure that other people are moving up with you. And so for me, the foundation that I've established when I started being recognized in the industry, and it would have been quite easy for me at that stage to be recognized as this young black individual who media wants to talk to, and be like, I'm taking this with me and I'm not caring about anybody else because I'm famous. But I wasn't famous. I was carrying the hopes and dreams of people that I grew up in front of and their children. And so for me, it was important to ensure that I pull up a generation of young people with me, with the limited knowledge that I have, with the limited funding that I have, but to ensure that when we sit in a room like this with wine in front of us, that there are people that look like me, that speak like me, that's not just invited to the table, but that have a voice at the table. And so the foundation was helping make sure farm kids complete school by mentoring them from grade 10 into grade 12 and give them a reach at university so that they can come back into this industry as specialists, as people with knowledge, as people that comes to the table and can contribute constructively to the industry, not because of the influences that we had in the past, but to say, how do we sit at this table now and envision a new South Africa? How do we sit at this table now and envision a better industry where their children can create, and they can create an opportunity for their parents to eventually retire and say, you know what, me laboring those many years in the sun and in the rain has produced a product that I can be proud of, or is now allowing me to retire and know that it wasn't in vain. And so my foundation is purely based on that. It's purely based on mentoring and giving back to young people what I have and what I've obtained, and I pull people around me with me into that. Today in this room are sitting one of my very first young people that I've mentored in the industry. And he is way beyond where I am today. Cum laude as the South African butler, working at one of the top-end hotels in the country. And that is when I feel that I've reached success. Success is not where I am today. Success is ensuring that the people that I've journeyed with is going beyond me, because then I've done the right thing.
Awesome. That is why it's called broad-based Black economic empowerment. Because it allows